start. Just for some of you to arrive. That's probably the thing about live streaming, is that it's there's always a bit of a delay. So so as you probably know, that I am working on a character here. It shows no data, so I don't know what's going on. Let me have a look. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if everything is fine. There you go. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Everything is fine. There is a little bit of a delay, but let's do this. So last week in my first live stream, I started with this dog character, and basically I'm just during the week I just thought about it. I've actually copied it over. I've just made a few adjustments. So in the first video, what I did is I created the dog standing up, and I've actually decided, because of the type of character what I need, especially with the ears, I'll have to redo it with him in the animal template, because I need certain parts of his body to for his head. So I've just copied it over, so that now basically all the folders here is according to the animal template. Obviously when we go over in Cartoon Animator, then what I'll do is I will adjust the head to make it a 360 head, and then once I've done that, I'm going to save the head, and then I'm going to go over to what do you call it? I'm going to go over to Cartoon Animator, save the head, create a new character where he's standing up, and I'll just apply that head to the new body. So because I want two different types of bodies, I want the one with the in the dog position where he's standing on all fours, and the second position where he's standing up straight like a real cartoon character. So basically that is what we're going to do today. I'm going to draw the body in the dog position where he's standing on all fours. Just another thing, I'm just going to check my back every now and then, because I do have some problems with my internet lately, where the internet goes off for 15 minutes or 10 minutes and then it comes back on. So I'm just going to keep an eye on my internet, just in case. I haven't had any problems today, but I know yesterday it was a bit of an issue. So let's start. I do have a reference of a dog character just for the body here with me. Let me on my phone. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys can see, but I just have a pose of a dog here, and I'm gonna use that as my reference. So let's do that, and then I'm just gonna just drop the opacity. There you go. Okay, so let's start. I'm just gonna draw the rough guidance. So just okay, and then another. So as you can see, I just want to get that rough shape going, and then what you'll also see me doing, I just want to go there. So there's neck, and then I can take that out. So what you'll always see me do is I always draw my rough shapes, my circles. It just makes so much sense, especially when it comes to your joints. When you rig your character, it is extremely important, because now I know these circles is in the middle is where my pivot points basically will be. Then here will be the one leg and the feet, and then here again same thing. So what I like to do is I just like to get my shapes down, and you'll see I always just draw I will always draw just the one leg, because what I do is I like to copy and paste it over to I just like to copy and paste it. It makes my work just so much easier. And now it is just a question of I've got my basic shapes right. And I'll just kind of outline it to get that decent picture of what that outline should be. And once I'm happy with that, I can then go to my folder. I have to go to the body. So it's a hip. And let's delete that. Create a new one, and then I can draw it in. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'd love to answer your questions. If you have any suggestions for future videos that I release, yeah, feel free to ask. I'd love to hear from you guys. So let's draw this in. There you go. And then I can just smooth this area out a little bit. There you go. And basically, that is the body, the torso part done, or the basic shape. And now I just want that Okay, so there my body is done. You'll see last week in the first video what I did was I kind of shaded the head and I've removed it. The reason I've decided to do that is I'm going to shade it after I've done my 360 head, just to see does everything flow, because the nose part with the 360 head is going to move sideways if he's going to look that way, and then it's going to overlap with his head, and if the shading is done wrong it's not going to look right. So that is, I'm going to do the shading when I do my 360 head, and I'll also just add the details with the ears, just so that the ears stand out as well. As you can see, that is also it doesn't look right. So remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll gladly help. And yeah, so the body is done, so let's do the neck. Okay, let's just drop the opacity again, and I'm just going to drop the opacity of the body as well. And then where's the shapes? Where's the shapes? Yeah, here it is. Okay, no, that's the balloon, so those on, that's not the shapes. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now let's go to the neck. Okay. Remember to feel free to ask questions if you have any, where you guys are from. This is my second live stream, so it's kind of nice for me to kind of meet or get to know all of you guys, where you guys are from. Do you guys do 3D or 2D animation? Those kind of things. Would love to hear from you. So as you guys can see, I'm doing everything in the correct folders. If you haven't watched my live stream last week, let's just draw this line. So basically what I do is I create a layer right here at the top, and that is where I do my rough sketches. And then once that is done, I can now draw everything in the correct folders. So I'm now busy with the neck, and the neck I'm drawing in the neck folder. The hip I drew in the hip folder, so I can push that opacity up. And let's just drop this opacity, and let's just adjust the neck a little bit. So we can make it maybe a little bit like so. I think that looks perfect. And let's check the head. Yeah, I think that's in the middle. And we've got our body and our neck done. So, file, save, Always important to save your projects while you're busy working. Okay. So obviously, like I say, if I add the head back, and let's just, so that is what he looks like at the moment. And obviously, like I said, I will add the shading so that the head basically stands out from the body. Obviously, it doesn't look right the way it should at the moment, but yeah, I'm gonna do all of that once I'm gonna do my 360 head. The important thing for me now is just to create my characters or my character and rig it correctly, and then I can take it to Cartoon Animator and start working on a 360 head. So let's do the tail. Okay, and we've got the tail done, so we are getting there. There's the tail, the body, the head, and now basically just for the legs. I think I just need to tidy up this tail. There you go. Okay, now let's do the back left foot, back left up thigh, front. Let's just have a look what this looks like. Let's move it. Undo. Okay, so that basically, this is also why I use the templates, why I export a character, a template character to my drawing software, Clip Studio Paint, because it comes with a sample. So now I know exactly how I need to draw this leg. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just add my circles again. Undo. Needs to be white. And go. And we can move it into place. And now I can just create my leg the way it is. Like so. There. You also see I always work in layers as well. Every time with everything that I do, I always add new layers. For me, I just feel it makes my life so much easier. I can always flatten it once I'm done, because now I can move each layer into position. If I've made a mistake, it is easy to adjust it. Like for example, I think this one is too big, so let's just make it smaller. If everything was on one layer, then I would have had a problem, because then I would have had to, if I had to resize it, it would affect everything that I drew. So that is normally a problem. That's why it's so much easier and better to just work on one layer or on different layers, and you can always flatten it afterwards once you are happy. And let's delete that. And now I can just connect everything, make the leg. Okay, so there is this leg. Now obviously if I bring back the hip, I have to adjust that brown spot on him, because it overlaps his leg. So let's go to the hip. It's there, and then I can just, again, this is why I like to work in layers, but I'll have to clear it and redo it. So let's clear. There you go. And select that. And now I can draw it. Make sure it doesn't overlap the tail or the neck or the legs. And then I can just color it in. Okay, so there, that is done, and if I increase the opacity, there is my dog so long. And I kind of like him so far. I'm just gonna adjust this leg. I think it needs to be a bit more back, and I think a little bit shorter as well. So let's there you go. I think that looks much better. And then I can just simply take this and edit, copy, and then I can go to back, right up thigh, delete, edit, paste, and now I can just move it and there you go. Okay, so we've got the back feet or the back legs done, the tail, the body, the neck, and next up what we're going to do is we're going to do the front legs, and then I'm just going to, and obviously the feet as well, and then I'm just going to make some minor adjustments. As you can see there, it's not very smooth, and then yeah, then the basic shape of my character's body is done. Then once that then I can basically import this, or I can do the rigging, import it into character creator, and I can then start working on the 360 head. So for this video I'm gonna draw, finish creating the character, and yeah, then in the next video I will then import it into character creator, and then I'll do the 360 head. So in the next video, if you want to see how to do a 360 head, then make sure you tune in for that video. So next week Tuesday I'll do my next live stream, so I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, then we're gonna do the 360 head, and I think then the character will start to take shape. Once that is done, I can add the shading, and then I can also add all the different sprites. For example, the different mouth sprites, the different eye sprites, the different eyebrow sprites, etc. So that is basically what I'm going to do after I've created my 360 head. So now let's do the feet. I will do last. So let's do the front. Let's see how this is. Okay, so that's the foot and that's the leg. Okay, so let's move that there so I can see what that should look like, and drop the opacity of my head. Okay, so let's start with the front legs. So I just want to create this bottom part, same size, as that, and it should be at the same level as well. Okay, now let's add another layer and do that part. Okay, so it's just saving. My autosave is on, and that's one thing with Clip Studio Paint. The autosave takes extremely long. Okay. So it is still saving. One thing I also normally, there you go, okay. One thing I also like to do, and I'll show you guys just now, is, okay, I'm just going to reshape this back legs and then copy and paste it. But there is something that I always like to do, is to make the back legs a little bit darker. It just helps it create depth into my characters. So that is something that I normally like to do as well. So let's duplicate this and let's move them up. And you take both of these and you move it to the side. There you go. And then I'm just gonna that I can delete. And now I can just draw and connect this. That is the one benefit of a drawing tablet, is you can set shortcut keys on these buttons on the side, and yeah, one of them I've set on save, the other one on undo, and that undo button is just absolutely magical. I just love if I make a mistake, just press of one button and it is fixed. There you go. Okay. And that is the front leg done. I think all of them. Same with the back leg. Okay, so that's the front leg done. And let's just fix the back legs quickly. So I'm going to delete this. And then left. And that's front. So there you go. Okay, so I just want to fix this back leg a little bit. It's too clunky. And remember to ask questions if you have any. We'd love to answer some of your questions. If you're not watching this live, feel free to leave your questions in the comments below. Okay, so basically I just want to add some definition to these back legs, just so that it looks a little bit better. That looks much better. So now what I'm gonna do is now I can copy, edit, copy, and paste. And let's bring back the hip and the neck. Okay, so now what I like to do is, okay, I'm going to move this leg into place. But what I like to do is, let's just combine this or merge. So, oh, wrong one. Select that leg, and then I'm just going to make it a bit darker, fill, and if I bring that back, you'll see there's a little bit of definition there. It just looks much better. There's a little bit of depth, so I like to do that as well. So let's do the same with the front leg. So back, left, up. So I need front, left, up. It's this one. Okay. Edit, copy. So front, up, thigh. Delete. Edit, paste. Selected, select the color, move it, into place, select the leg and fill, and there you have it. Okay, so we've got all the legs done. So next up I'm going to do the feet, and then the basic character is done, the basic shape. So then all I can do next is just apply all the pivot points. The pivot points is already created. So for example, there they are. I can just drag them all into place. And then I can save it and I can import it into character or cartoon animator, and yeah, then the fun begins. Then you'll be able to animate it, and then obviously next up we'll do the 360 head. We'll add the different sprites for the eyes and brows and the mouth, and then do some shading just so that the character stands out. I want the character to have a little bit of a 360 or 3D feel, not 360, a 3D feel to it. So yeah, I'm just going to add some shading so that it just pops. And yeah, once that is done, once this character is done, I'm going to save the head. Then I'm going to create a new body with him standing up. And once that is done, I'll just that saved head, I'll apply it onto the new body. Then I've got two different characters. The reason I'm doing it that way, because then the head is saved, the 360 head is saved. I can just apply it onto the new body, and I don't have to redo the 360 all over from scratch again. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. So let's do the feet. Okay. Now I just want to show you guys another tip. This is the back left. Okay. Okay, so this, edit, copy, and then edit, paste, and if I drop the opacity, back left foot, boom. If I drop that opacity, so now you see I basically copied and pasted that circle, so it makes it so much easier now for me just to draw my feet, because I now know exactly where that needs to go, so I can, oopsie, and I can and then obviously I will just add like that. Doesn't look very exciting, but and now I can take this, edit, copy, and I can now just paste it and move it into place like so. And then I just do exactly the same for the back right foot and paste, and now obviously I just need to that. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, there you go. And select that and just add go, and let's just increase front upper thigh. Go, and now I can just copy and paste this foot, edit, copy, and front foot, delete, edit, paste, there we go, and then we just drag it into place. And there we have our basic character. Obviously, like I said, what I need to do is I need to adjust the pivot points, which we'll do next week, and then obviously we can then import it into Cartoon Animator, and then we can just test it and see, does it work the way I want it? Does the body move the way it should? I can just drag some motions on top of it. So next week we can do that. And then once that is done and I'm happy, I can create the 360 head. And yeah, then once that is done, I can add the shading and the different sprites, and then this character is done. And I'll save the head, and then I'm going to create a new body where he's standing up straight, and I'll just apply that head on top of the body inside Cartoon Animator. So guys, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. I hope I will see you guys next week. Remember, every Tuesday I'm going to have these live streams. So yeah, you're more than welcome to come join, ask questions if you have any, and yeah, I hope to see you guys every Tuesday. And yeah, so from me, Eon, I will see you guys next week. God bless and happy animating.